Hello, welcome to Froggy Ray Creations. I'm Andy. This is the Bob Squad. So I'm on today because, well, for a few reasons. I gotta get some videos out, haha. And then, but I had some cool ideas from other people's ideas. So I'm gonna link her below, but there's a new page that I just started following, Talon's Place. I said I was going to write it down. Anyways, I'm going to link her below. I apologize if I did not say that correctly, but I think that her name is Terry. So she's followed by a lot of people that I'm already in that like web. I noticed somebody else said it in a video yesterday, but it's super truthful. Like we're all kind of like connected in some, you know, within 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. I don't know if anybody remembers that saying, but anyway. So I did some, in a previous video, I showed some little doily paper doll dresses that I like to do. And then I saw where Terry from Talon's Place was making corsets. And I thought, oh, corsets with doily bottoms? Like, oh my gosh, that's gotta be, that's gotta work. So, also, sorry, I have lots of boo-boos happening to me, so I peeled all the skin off my knuckle today. That was super fun. I just have the best experience with air and things like that. Anyway, so I'm gonna take off my little compression thingy here and get started because it's hard to craft with it. Although I do use it, I have two. I have one for my going out that's clean and nice and whatever and not got paint and whatever on it. And then I have this one that I use when I'm crafting because of the pain that I still have. But anyway, nobody cares about all that stuff. So let's get to crafting. I was gonna make a couple of corsets. I don't have a template. I think she got one. She found one on like Pinterest or whatever. So we're gonna wing it. This is playtime after all, so we're gonna do that. And yeah, so let me just figure out, I'm gonna take my little thing off here just because it's a little cumbersome to try to do things with. Anyways, and then I think I'm gonna go ahead and just do, I haven't decided what kind of cardstock I want to make the base. I kind of want to make my own little template. So we're going to draw again, which I was like, I'm never going to draw on camera. But here I am. This will be my second time. So let me grab my handy dandy pencil. I'm so weird. I love pens and pencils, but when I draw, I have two that I am very particular about. So I love, this one is by Faber-Castell. It's a grippy pencil. That part doesn't even, like, that part is irrelevant. I do like the shape of the triangle because of the way that I hold a pencil. It feels better in my hand. But it's the fact that it's a 2.5 HB. That's what I like about it. It's, you know, it's hard enough, but it's light enough that you can erase it. And now it's proving me wrong, but you know, you can erase it and you don't really see the lines. The other one I like to use is, this is a drafting pencil. I took a mechanical drafting course in my about 27 years ago, in my 20s. I took a drafting course. I don't know what I'm starting to do. I'm starting to like just do random stuff because that's what I would do. We're gonna make a corset. Okay, so we want to make it small enough to fit like on an ATC. So I'm gonna grab one of my little playing cards here, and we're just gonna block out an area that we know. Maybe. I think I can draw and I can't even trace an ATC card. Okay, so that's we need to stay within this pocket here. So corsets are narrow in the waist. I don't know how narrow we're gonna go because, you know, I'm a little chunky, and I'm not trying to make it like, you know, some... You can make your corset however you like. Okay, so that's a good, excuse me, a good bottom to it, I think. It's a little better proportion. Then we got to make the top, which is going to kind of, because I don't want it to be that kind of weird, whatever. So, are we at a center? Not really, but we'll get there. That's why I do it like lightly, a little light sketch. Because then you can go back in and erase it like this. We don't want that so sharp. Like I'm over here teaching you all how to draw. Like, come on, Andy, get your crap together. People know how to draw. You don't need to teach them. Okay. Anyways, this one also, I don't think it had, I don't know what lead is in it. It doesn't say. It's so shiny. I can't really, but it doesn't tell me what type, what density? I can't think, words escape me right now of like what the lead quality is or type is. Type, we'll just go with that. Anyways, but this is an Alvin Draft Tech Retract. It's 0.3 millimeter and it's made in Japan, but I really like, if you look at all the pens that I have, I love pens that are anywhere from like 0.2 millimeter to about 0.4. I mean, I'll deal with a 0.5, but I don't like the big, thick, chunky pens with like the big, thick lines, unless that's what, like, I mean, I do have a variety of different pens and they all have their purpose, but if I'm doing my own like drawing or sketching or whatever, and this all goes back to it, the smaller it is, the happier I am. So, I don't know. There you go. That weirdness. I really don't like how that is doing. It's just bugging my eyes. So we're gonna... Oh yeah, see, that's way better. I like that already. I have a couple of people that I know that are on, you know, on YouTube that I chat with frequently, and they were all not feeling well in varying stages, and I always joke like, oh, you gave me your virus virally. Dad joke. Anyway, so I don't know if I have something coming on or not. I can't quite tell. I think it's allergy, really, because everything is kind of like, I'm allergic to wet leaves. Don't ask. It's such a weird, very specific allergy. But because the snow is melting and there's still a lot of leaves that are on the ground, they're very wet. So I just have noticed I have like a lot of nasal issues. So if I sound different or funny, you know, that's fine. It is what it is. Anyway, we're going to cut out a rough cut of this and get rid of our scraps. We're throwing these away. We're not keeping them. I have another one. No, maybe not. Okay. I am not a huge fan of fussy cutting, just because I feel like I mess it up, but we're gonna do that. We're gonna do what we do. I saw a couple of different ones. I did download a free template for one, because it had kind of a unique thing where they had holes poked on either side, and then they did maybe yarn, I don't know. They did some string type thing to make it look like the tie of the corset. So I thought that was kind of cool. So here's what's going to be my template for a corset. What did I do? What did I do with my little... Ah, it's under my parchment. I forgot to move that. Come here, you. So, well, son of lies. All right, we're just gonna do this. Let's move the parchment because we're not gluing yet. We've already ruined this other thing, so we don't care. Okay. So let's just quickly fold. I feel like I need the parchment under because these are so white that on white you can't tell. And I was gonna do that wrong, so let's do this. Let's do that, and then we'll do a little bit of that. So we can get some extra layering going on there. And then, look at that! See? That's gonna look fantastic. I already love it, and it's not even like actually like done, but, or maybe, I don't know, I really like this for some reason. It's so pretty. I guess we'd have to move it down a little more because you'd want it to rest, because these are like, I guess, the hip area, and then, yeah. I've never worn, well, let me take that back. I've never worn a corset as an adult, but you know when they used to do those, I don't know, they probably still do them, the old Western type video or pictures that you could get. I think they did put me in a corset for one of those one time, which is super awkward when you look back at some of those photos because, you know, they make you look like a, I don't really want to say the words or anything because I don't mean it derogatory, you know, if that's, yeah. Anyways, we're going to move on from that topic, but I just feel like sometimes looking back at the pictures, when you see how old you look, you're like, wow, I was really young to be dressed so almost very much inappropriately, but they're still fun. It's fun to play dress up, especially when you're a kid. Anyway, let's move away from all of that topic because that just turned out not okay. All right, so I'm gonna do this. Oh, we're gonna trace this back out. Look at that, I got 3, wait, yeah, 3 out of 1. It wasn't a full? It might have been a full. Anyways, 3 out of 1 index card. That's kind of cool. Okay, so we're gonna use this. I don't know if I used this pencil last time, but I just very lightly trace around so you don't get all that weird whatever like I just did there. Again, I don't know why I'm instructing. I think it's the teacher in me, like, you know, I just do that. And this way we can cut out 2 at one time. And then we can get to decorating. Because won't that be fun? I have some mental images of it because I don't have, I mean, I could turn around and look at my computer for some ideas, but I can't, you know, I have the idea. I know what a corset looks like. It may not be everyone's cup of tea, but that's okay. That's why they make lots of flavors of tea, you know? Or if you don't like tea, they make coffee. Anyways, that's getting out of hand too. Okay, so then now we're going to decorate said corset. Let me just glue this guy down because that'll glue while we wait. So funny. Sometimes it doesn't have the rest and sometimes it do. Oh, of course, I try to get the rest off of it before I put it over here. And then it has the rest, doesn't have the rest on the plate that I have put it on, but then it, yeah, anyways, whatever. It's a bunch of mess. I thought I had a paper clip just like out, didn't I? I guess I didn't. Well, into our little thing we go. Let's do it this way. I do love that it's warming up though. Excuse me. Even though it's just made my yard look like a like a swamp. Okay. Now You could even do it on like decorative paper. It doesn't have to be white. I probably shouldn't have done white necessarily. But I do have, some tissue paper left over from when I was making my son's project for his Valentine's box for school, because, you know, that's what parents do when they can't finish it all. Mom or dad have to jump in and take care of it. I can't tell which side is the darker side, but I was thinking something like that, and then we can put some lace over top of it. I'm really feeling like it's got to be a black and red corset. I don't want to take too long to try to decide on what I'm doing. I should have brought extra things. Maybe we'll just make a very unique corset, and it'll be something that's never been done before. I really need to use some of this stuff. I have all these scraps. Oh, this is also going to be my fapping with scraps. We're not cutting any fresh new papers to make these. We're just going to use the things that we already have, because we just, yep, not doing it. Not keeping all the scraps. I don't know what is wrong with me, but I know a lot of people have the problem, but it's overwhelming when you have too many things. I don't think a grass one would look cool. I don't think that would look cool. This might not be the bag for me. I should have thought this out a little better. I'm sorry. We could try, I do have my giant stack of miscellaneous scraps. I've even made like a tiny scrap bag since I've gotten all these tiny ideas. I'm like, oh, now I need to keep tiny scraps. Great. What have I done to myself? I don't know if I want to do something that wild. Let's make it whimsy, because then we can use our itsy bitsy whimsy tag too. I just love that. Oh, what are you? Get out of here. All right. Trying to get to the paper. To the actual paper. All right. Yeah, let's do something fun and whimsy. Okay, that's a good start. These aren't technically scraps though, so that's a scrap, but the rest I can't use because, remember, we're sticking to scraps only. But that might work with the black top. Oh, it is this way. Okay, so the black top and it's got like the little scoop already that would go right up at the bust line. Oh yeah, I'm digging it. That just made me want to sing Can You Dig It? Okay, so we're gonna trace out that. Just because I know myself, and if I go to like cut around the cut out piece, then I'm gonna cut more off of it, and it's just gonna, yeah, turn into a hot mess. I should have gone with a I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm a in frame. I apologize, but I went too close to the line. You should leave a little line, because that way, if it hangs over, it's fine, you can trim it. But if it doesn't, then you're left with that white. And I know I can ink it, but I don't have a pink ink. I've got, what is it? Turd brown, walnut, something. I don't know what it is. Yeah, scorched timber. Wow, I was way off. But anyway, I guess it doesn't matter what you use. Okay, that is a wild cut. So I didn't even think about that. Let's wing it. Oh, wow, I might have actually done pretty darn good. Wow, look at that. That wouldn't be done again in a million years. Okay. So let's see now if you fit here, the bust line, and then you fit. Yeah, okay, I like it. Let's just do it. Oh, I wasn't on the shiny side, but, or whatever. Anyway. I'm gonna, why does this dry like so fast? When I need it to dry fast, it doesn't dry fast. But then when I don't want it to dry fast, you know, that's just life, I guess. We're gonna go ahead and do that. And then we're gonna put this on here. And then we're gonna turn it, oh, we're gonna make sure it goes up to the line. We don't want any, no whites showing. Pull it down just a little bit more. And then we're just gonna smooth it out because I don't know if I have my little card. Where did it? There it is. I do have it. Son of Wise, come on. Ugh, everything must be so difficult. That's just to kind of get the glue to smooth out. I don't really want to use a paper clip with this, so we're just gonna hope it cooperates. Just because tissue paper is so flimsy. And then for this, I'm gonna go ahead and glue here. It's better, this is a heavier paper. It's not heavy, like it's still thin, but this can handle being moved around. The tissue paper is too flimsy, so it tends to work better if you glue the area that you want to put it on. That was a life lesson that I learned when I was making my pocket letters, because I decided to be overboard crazy and like, I'm gonna make purses for every one of them. And then I was like, I'm gonna enter twice and I'm gonna make the hostess each their own. So I made 4 of them. And gluing napkins to cardstock was not my favorite thing that I've ever done. But I learned a lot, so that, I guess it kind of did end up being one of my favorite things, because I do love learning new tips and tricks and techniques. I follow this this lady from Useful Creations, and she is so good at like, she does so many creative things. I can't even. She uses, like, literally, and her thing is, you know, shop your stash, but she will go and use, like, stuff that you're like, what? That's in my husband's garage. Like, I would never have thought of that. And bam, there she is, just turning it into, like, a gorgeous piece of art. That's what I really, every day I'm just more and more, like, you think, like, I've reached the pinnacle. I've been impressed, and no one can impress me further. Lies. Check out any of the ladies in this community. I guarantee you, you know, if it isn't up your alley, they've got something that is, because they're just some phenomenal creators on here. And I'm so happy to, like, be just even remotely a part of it. All right. So, I was thinking, I don't know if I have the smallest of them, but I was thinking of, like, little rhinestones down the middle. I do need to get some lace too, because I want to add some little lace edging. Why can't I talk? Maybe I've had too much coffee today. There is such a thing, because then it gives me jitters. But I don't have jitters, so anyway. Let's bring over our Peg from Craft Room Stories lace bag, because there's so many goodies in it. It wasn't in a bag. She sent it in a huge box, but I keep it sealed up because I don't want, like, anything to happen to all the precious lace. You know what I mean? People that know, know. When you know, you know. All right, let's see. That might be too long. I just need something a little jazzy. to add to our whimsy corset. I am so excited about this. I am so glad that I saw Terry do that, because that just made my whole day. I was like, oh, I have a top for my, because I would do boring tops, you know, I would just kind of this shape, but I would just make it like a color and like a colored paper, but then I wouldn't like, that's just about as far as it would go. And they just, I don't know, I wasn't a huge fan of them. I wish I could, I think I probably threw them away because I get frustrated with stuff, and I'm bad about that. I just, if I don't like something, I throw it away. Get rid of it. If it doesn't bring you joy, you know, Maria Kondo. Get rid of it. Oh, wait. No, that might be too jazzy. Okay, I saw some rhinestones. Where are they? Because I've added some things to the bag that kind of go together. Oh, these are little pearls, but they're a little too big, I think. But we don't have to put a lot. Maybe we just put 3. But I thought there were some smaller things. Nope, those are the same size. Oh, those are just like enamel dots. Oh, maybe. They're still big. Okay, so what we'll do, I think I'm going to use these vintagey kind of yellowed, more yellow than these, if you can even see it, pearls. And we'll do a few of them. Not like as many. I could get out my like 3D, abstract 3D liner paint, but I don't know if it's not very good at making like a perfect little circle. It's more for like drawing lines and stuff, so. But I think that that'll look, oh, and that's kind of a perfect size. Oh, look at, like, to right there. That is well done, Andy. Good job. Okay, let's see. My hand doesn't want to cooperate. My left hand, it doesn't want to hold. It's like, no. Okay, let's grab it there and try to separate it from the rest here. Because I'm just going to keep it in this already beautifully spaced out line. That probably looked way more complicated than it needed to be, so I apologize for that. If anyone was watching and they were cringing the whole time it was happening, I just craft in a different way. So, oh, my Lanta. We're gonna tentatively place it and just see. Oh yeah, oh my gosh, that's like, wow, super jazzy. Let's cut off all this weird black. We might be able to tear it. Maybe not. Okay, let's not do that because we don't want to mess it up. It can get a little bit more of a rounded edge now with the tissue paper. And I can fix that little thing. And the rest of it I can just tuck behind it and tape it down or glue it down. And then it won't be in the, it won't be visible because I'm gonna glue that. I can glue this to an ATC because it's made for that size. Because, you know, I love making ATCs. That's my jam. Excuse me. And we can go in and jam that down and get a better, yep. Anyways, look at how fancy already without the lace. We're still gonna add lace, but I am loving this so much. Like, how freaking adorable is it? Now I feel like this little skirt, I'm gonna have to go and watercolor dye a lot of these because, or a bunch of them, just so I can do this. But oh my gosh, it is so sorry, I'm excited. It's so cute, so stinking cute. Let's see, do we want to this one. I think we do. Yeah, that looks too good. Oh, what did I do? I think, yeah, I like the... Do I like it that way or this way? Yeah, this way. So I'm gonna make sure I have enough and a little trim here because I don't have a lot of this one, but we'll use it sparingly but adequately. Okay, so I'm gonna get eventually a smaller tip for this because I don't like the huge beaded line it gives me. Oh, now it's working. It's just making liar out of me left and right. I still made it mess up there, but that's okay because it's a happy little accident, as Bob Ross would say. Oh, I did cut way more than I needed, but that's all right. Now we're gonna take our handy little towel here and we're just gonna press it down and see it gets rid of that excess. Oh, don't do that. But it gets rid of the excess Fabri-Tac, and so you don't have that like shiny stuff going on there anymore. That is like hanging on by a thread. Let's tuck it under so we can kind of get a better idea, but look at how cute. I don't know if I'm gonna add anything else. I feel like it's perfect. Gonna trim that though, because that's bugging the bejeebles out of me. I screwed that little edge up, but anyway. We're gonna give it a little bit of a, oh, this is the wrong scissor to use for this. But we're gonna give it a little bit of a flare on the side there, because, I don't know, I just feel like doing that. Yes. That is so pretty. I think what I might do, excuse me, in the future, I don't think I'm gonna do it to this. Well, I do have some different, maybe like a white pen or something and kind of do like a little ruffly looking edge around the top of that. But that's our whimsy, itsy bitsy whimsy corset that goes perfectly with our little paper doily skirt. Oh my goodness. I mean, come on. That's just too freaking cute. So it's about up to there, so we're gonna do a little Fabri-Tacking of it. Try to get it out of there. And a little there. Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I freaking love it. I think it looks so cute. We can trim that little hang off. Yes. Anyways, let me know what you think. I think that's a very, I keep saying very and words aren't coming to me, but I like this so much better. It's a better idea for adding, when I do my little paper dolls, this is a beautiful little dress for her. Yuck, Fabri-Tac everywhere. Anyway, tell me what you think. And sorry if it's so super long and drawn out. I apologize. It just came to me and I thought, let's share, let's play. So thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna love you and leave you. And I thank you so much for being here. Have a great day.